Hey, what's up everyone? Stewart here, and it has been over a year since I put up a new video. That is inexcusable. I'm sorry. So, to try and make it up to you, what I'm going to do every week for the next like 5 or 6 weeks, we're going to put up a new video. In each one, we're going to take a look at some ways that you can use your existing native Ableton Live devices to build more advanced processing racks, okay? So we're talking about stuff like a few different ways to do de-essing, mid-side compression, a tilt EQ, high frequency limiting, multiband limiting, all sorts of stuff like that, okay? So I'm going to try and keep these videos short and to the point, so let's just get started with this week's. So what we're going to do to start is we're going to build 2 starter racks that are going to make our subsequent jobs a little bit easier. And this week I want to build an MS rack. So all we're going to do is we're going to go into our audio effects here, go down and find utility at the bottom, and just drop that onto a channel. Now I'm going to select it, hit Command G to group it, okay? Put it in a rack. I'm going to show both my macros and my chain, and I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate the chain that we've already got. That's just Command D. I'm going to name the top one mid. I'm going to name this one side, okay? In the mid chain, we're going to go into this utility and we're going to pull our width all the way down to 0%. On the side, we're going to push it all the way up to 200%. Now, all that's doing in this utility plugin is changing the balance between mid and side information. But we want to be able to process the two independently. That's why we've put them on 2 different chains, okay? So I'm just going to double click the title bar of each of these to kind of hide them because we don't really need to see them too much in the future. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's just rename the rack for now. Let's just call it MS Starter Rack. The other thing that I'd like to do is build into the rack, into one of the macros, a mid-side balance, which is also going to act kind of as a width control, okay? So to do this, rather than map the volumes, which can get a little funky, we're going to use the chain selector, okay? So I'm going to pull the active area here for the chain all the way across for both of them. And then I'm going to right click on this chain selector here and map it. Let's use macro 8. Let's make it the last one in the macros. I'm going to give it a color and just call it width. Okay. And so now I know when my width is all the way to the left here, I want it to be just the mid info. So I'm going to make sure we bump this active side area over 1. Then I know when I'm all the way to the right with my width control, I want it to just be the side, or the stereo information. So I'm going to bump that down 1, okay? In the center, at 64, we want it to be just the original balance, so no change. So I'm going to kind of grab the top of this active area and drag that halfway over, and that's going to basically make the mid fade out as we move over to the right, okay? And then I'm going to do the same but opposite on the side chain. Side chain, not that kind of side chain. Okay, so now we can use this width knob. As we move this way, you're kind of pulling out that side info and you're getting more and more mono. It's going to get narrower. As you go the other way, it'll pull out some of that mid info. It'll get wider. Yay. All right, cool. Now, if you wanted, you could map overall levels to this width control as well so that it compensates a little bit. I'm going to leave those alone. I really just want to use it kind of as a balance control as is. All right. So again, I'm going to set that to 64, which is what I want my default to be. I'm going to hide our chain selector again. And I'm going to hide the devices and the chains. And this is kind of all we need. So now I'm going to go into my user library. This is where I keep racks and stuff that I've made. And let's see, I'm going to make a new folder here. And we'll just call it advanced processing. Did I spell that right? Advanced processing. Yes, I can spell. That's wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and just drop that in there, that MS starter rack. Hit enter to save it. And now that is in our user library. Yep, we're in the right place for future use. So we'll get back to that in the coming weeks. All right, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for all the continued likes and subscribes and comments in the interim that was a year. Please keep them coming. I'm going to try and be more active on here. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If you're not subscribed, please do. I know it's not that often that I get these out, but I try and make them worthwhile when I do. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.